This is ABTV, Animal Bites Television. For animal lovers, by animal lovers.
How's it going, everybody? Since I first started making this show in February, I've gotten a lot of requests to show off my personal collection. So I thought I'd spend the day introducing you to some of my closest friends and teach you a little bit about them along the way. My name is Jason Miller, and you're watching 5WeirdAnimalFacts. Let's go. Yeah, I don't have a cameraman. So let's start off with everybody's favorite vine snakes, Jade and Groot. These two guys are, I say this all the time on my Instagram page, these are my children. I love these snakes so much. And it's pretty obvious why. They're absolutely beautiful. And, well, one of them at least is very friendly as well. Here's my baby girl, Jade. Look at how beautiful she is. I don't care how many times I see her. Every single day when I come down here and check her out and play with her, she never ceases to amaze me how beautiful she is. She's actually grown quite a bit since I first got her. When I first got her, she was maybe half this size. So she's eating really well. She's one of the best eating snakes that I've ever seen. You can see how calm she is. She's the most tame snake I think that I've ever worked with. And that's saying something for a snake that is venomous and, unfortunately, most likely wild caught. It's really remarkable. When I take out Groot, you'll see he's a bit more wild than Jade is. Jade is so accustomed to me at this point. She's a total sweetheart. I'll you know, pretty much let anyone hold her and not have to worry about it. I can scratch her under the chin and she doesn't give me any trouble. And a project that I'm really looking forward to in the near future is I'm going to be actually making a new enclosure for these guys. I'm going to be making it floor to ceiling. It's going to be a corner cage, so it's triangular in shape. And it's going to be about 5 feet wide. So these guys are going to have about 6 feet of climbing space, because I love that climbing space, and 5 feet of back and forth space. And I think I'm going to do like the bottom half pond, the other half like plant life and trees and things like that. I love using live plants in my enclosures as well. You can kind of see that. This is a little hibiscus plant that I have growing in here that hopefully will shoot up once I get into a bigger place. And there's some bamboo, all kinds of stuff. Amazing pets. I can't stress this enough. They make amazing pets. Just know that there is a lot of care involved. They need a lot of space. I mean, any snake, I think, needs a lot of space. That's just my personal opinion. And they have a very specific diet. I mean, I mentioned this when I showed these guys off before in my episode about weird snakes. They only eat lizards. I have heard of them being switched over to mice, but I prefer just feeding them lizards. Not because I want to see lizards die, but because I like the natural diet, you know what I mean? If this is what they're eating in the wild, it meets all their nutritional needs. I feel better about it, personally. So this is what a nice calm vine snake looks like, a nice green vine snake. Now, let's check out her boyfriend, who's a little bit less friendly and has been a bit more moody than usual lately, so I am going to use a hook. I'm not excited for this, I'll tell you that. But who knows, maybe he'll be in a good mood today. Ooh, already getting grumps. Already getting grumps! Not a happy snake. Not a happy snake. You are not. Whoa. Whoa. Alright. Mouth open, ready to go, locked in, looking me right in the eyes. This snake hates me with every fiber of his being. Which is too bad, because I really love him. He is beautiful. And look at that, move him around. His eyes stay locked on me. He wants to bite me so bad right now. If I were to get bit, it wouldn't be deadly by any means. It might give me a little bit of nausea, definitely swell up a bit, be kind of red, just like kind of a really bad bee sting. And that's not something I necessarily want. I've never been bitten by these guys before, and I honestly don't want to, because there always is that slight chance that I have an allergic reaction, and then it could be a bit more serious. But, man, he hates me so much. Look at that. You guys know Brian's Burmese Python Satan? This is my Satan. Huh, Groot. He really is beautiful, though. I don't care that he hates me. I don't care that he wants to bite me so bad. He is a beautiful snake. And he's all puffed out now. He's waiting for me to make a mistake. That's his thing. As soon as I slip up and start relaxing too much, he'll shoot forward at unbelievable speed and try his best to latch onto me. So as hard as it is getting him out of his cage, getting him back in is just as bad. Because unlike most snakes, which usually like to retreat back into their enclosures when they're done, he likes to retreat outward. Any chance he can get to latch onto me, he'll try and take. And he is just looking at me right now. He will not take his eyes off of me. So maybe if I put him back here, he is still just looking at me. Come on, buddy, get out. Get out. There you go. There you go. Oh! Angry snake. Angry snake. He's lucky I love him so much. Alright, let's move on to something a little less dangerous. The next ones I'm going to show you are animals that are pretty popular in the trade. These next guys I'm going to show you are pretty common in the pet trade. Almost everyone who has owned reptiles has had these Fire-Bellied Toads. I have 5 of them, and they are fairly small still because I raised these from tadpoles. I got some tadpoles from my friend at an expo, like $2 each, and I raised them from there. I gave them a lot of crustaceans in their diet, a lot of like ground up shrimp and things like that, because that's what gives them that high coloration. Usually captive bred Fire-Bellied Toads are very dull in color, but these ones, let me grab them, are very, very high green. How cool is that? Ooh, careful. Oh. Oh, you jumpy. Like I said, these are such common pets. They sometimes get like one of those reputations like leopard geckos have, where it's like, oh, they're so common, they don't even count as... But I don't care. I still love them. Even though they are so common and so easily accessible, they make great pets. They're super hardy. They like a little bit colder conditions than a lot of other reptiles and amphibians do, so they're easy to care for in a climate like New Hampshire. And also, I mean, they're so much fun. Just watching them eat, watching them chase down crickets. Even at this size, they will try and take on something as big as them. I'm feeding them pinheads right now. They'll get about 2 inches long when they're full grown, so they've still got a bit to go. Maybe double or triple this size. But you can see why they're called a fire belly. Sometimes that's bright red, sometimes it's that kind of dullish yellow, anywhere in between. But that's their defense mechanism. They do have a slight toxin in their skin that they release when they're under threat. And they want to let predators know that. So instead of running away, they kind of do like the blue-tongued skink who sticks his tongue out. These guys will rear up on their front feet like this and show off their stomach. And that, tells predators, hey, look at how brightly colored I am. I'm poisonous. You'll get a bad stomachache if you eat me. I take a lot of pride in setting up some pretty dope enclosures. That's one of the things I'm most proud of with my animals. And this one's no exception. I got all sand, some live plants in there, and there's like a little dip in the middle where I put a pond and then a little cave in the corner for when they want to escape. And very simple setup, very easy to maintain. Just drain the water out when it gets dirty, put new water in. And they've been thriving in it, so I'm overall very happy. Since we're talking about amphibians here, I think I'll introduce you to one of the newest members of my little family. His name is Cujo, the African bullfrog. Still very small. I got him when he was like that big, about the size of a quarter. So he's already grown quite a bit. But males, when they get full grown, can reach as heavy as 2.5 pounds. And I've even heard rumors of them getting heavier than that, as much as 5 pounds, which is pretty unbelievable. But let me take him out, because Pixie Frogs are neat, because most amphibians, you can't really take them out and play with them too much. But these guys are so big and bulky and tough that you can give them a little more attention than you would most other frog species. Look at that face. He's so cute. So cute. These guys love to burrow down into the ground. It's where they feel most safe. They can wait and ambush their prey there. And also when conditions get too dry, they'll burrow down a bit deeper and create a protective coating of mucus that dries out and covers their bodies, and they go into an almost state of hibernation until the rainy season comes. I have a nice water bowl for him there. You can jump in and take a dip whenever he wants. His hide. And he should be able to be in this cage for a bit longer. I do like giving my animals as much space as possible, but Pixie Frogs don't move around too much, so they don't need a huge enclosure like, a Fire-Bellied Toad colony would, because they just kind of do this all day. Just like that. What a life, huh? You can kind of see if I clear away this dirt, he's got a little bright green horizontal stripe on his back. And that's his juvenile striping. They have those stripes when they're younger, and they fade as they get older. They stay a little bit longer in females, but males lose them almost entirely. And males, I'm sorry, buddy. Males get that kind of yellowy under their stomachs and under their faces, while females stay a bit more cream white colored. So he's just starting to yellow up a little bit. I think he's a male. I'm like 90% sure. He might surprise me, though. Too cute, man. I love their faces. Look at that. Some of the most beautiful reptiles in the world, in my opinion, are day geckos, and I got a couple at the last expo that I went to. These are gold dust day geckos, and I'm pretty hesitant about taking them out because they're so fast and their skin is so delicate that unless I absolutely have to, I won't handle them. Their skin can rip very easily, and they can also let go of their tails like leopard geckos can, but they're much more open to that idea than a leopard gecko is. I have a male and a female in here, Gizmo and Angel, and both of them have regrown tails. Gizmo, he already had his tail missing and regrown, and Angel lost her tail here when she got out of her tank and wasn't very, okay with me getting her back in. You'll see my setup here. I have live plants, a feeding station where I keep their little rapashi diet, and a little bowl here to put baby cockroaches and crickets in, because they are omnivores. They love humidity as well. They're a rainforest animal. I'm overall really happy with these guys. They are delicate. They're not great, for handling, but they're so beautiful. I love having them in my collection. So it's no secret that I'm a pretty big fan of bugs. So of course I have 1 or 2 in my collection, or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or a lot. I actually named every bug that I have. So if you can guess what show I got the idea for the names from, let me know in the comments. First thing I want to show you is my newest addition. This is actually the larva of a Hercules beetle. Eastern Hercules beetle. And it's kind of hard to see. He's right there. He's really planted in the soil, and I don't know when he's going to pupate, so I'm not going to take him out just because I don't want to stress him out too much and harm the process. But that's my finger, and that's him. He's pretty big. So I'm really excited for him to hatch out. I've heard mixed things about the longevity of their pupation. I've heard some people say that they'll go into the pupal form and then hatch out 3 months later. And I've heard other people say that it'll take 18 months. So hopefully it doesn't take 18 months because I want a Hercules beetle. Next up is Oliver, my male Choco Golden Knee. You can tell he's a male from those little hooks under his front legs which are used during breeding. Normally a very placid species, Oliver has been giving me a bit of attitude since he's reached sexual maturity. He's been refusing food and kicking hairs, which is why he looks so skinny and has that big bald spot on his back. Hopefully his hormones will calm down soon and he'll be back to normal. Here's the largest tarantula in my collection, a Brazilian salmon pink bird eater named Nissa. One of the largest tarantulas in the world, salmon pinks can reach 10 inches in diameter when fully grown. They eat like crazy and don't burrow or make large webs, so they make fantastic display species. However, they tend to be a bit aggressive, so handling isn't always a good idea. This is Diggle, a Mexican golden red rump. This is a medium-sized species with a leg span of around 5 inches. Diggle is probably the most aggressive eater that I have, but he's very docile and easy to handle. Unlike Slade, who's an Indian ornamental. I have a friend that likes to say that this species teleports because of how quick they are. They also have a bite that can be medically significant and even send you to the hospital in some cases. Mature specimens have beautiful yellow markings under their legs and make thick webs high in their enclosure. Slade is my only arboreal tarantula. Next is my favorite species of tarantula and the newest member of the family, Arsenal the green bottle blue. Arsenal is only about half an inch long and still has his juvenile colors. When he gets bigger, he'll be bright blue with a fiery orange thorax. Green bottle blues prefer very dry conditions and make huge webs around their enclosures. A very skittish species, this isn't a good tarantula to take out and handle. However, they have amazing colors and don't often hide, so they are one of the best display species. Another good example of a look but don't touch is my western black widow spider named Canary. I've actually had her since the day that she hatched. Black widows get a bad reputation, but this species hasn't caused a human fatality since the 50s. This is a really easy to care for display animal. They require no water and make cobwebs that can cover their entire enclosure. And let's not forget that beautiful red hourglass on her stomach. Moving on from spiders, meet my Tanzanian red claw scorpion Ray Shalgul. As you can tell, he doesn't like me very much. Red claws are in the same genus as emperor scorpions, but don't grow as large and are nowhere near as docile. They max out at around 5 inches and have a very mild sting. As with most scorpions, they hide during the day and come out at night to hunt. Looking very similar to Raish and requiring almost identical care is Brick, an Asian forest scorpion. These guys are probably the most popular pet scorpion behind the emperor and, similar to the red claw, don't have the most friendly attitude. Brick is fairly well behaved for an Asian forest scorpion, and I've handled him before without any problems. Hey, look how brave I am, guys. Oh, And finally, here's Speedy, the Tanzanian giant tailless whip scorpion. She's still young, but she'll eventually have a leg span of up to 11 inches. These are one of the most interesting arachnids on the planet, however, they're a bit camera shy. So before I go, I gotta show you guys one more member of the family. This is Daisy the Hairless Rat. I decided I wanted a rat, but I also needed something a bit weirder than just a rat, you know what I mean? So I saw one with no hair, and I was like, that one, obviously. And she looks ridiculous. I will not say that she doesn't, but she's also a total sweetheart. She is incredibly friendly, totally inquisitive, loves attention. She's giving me kisses right now. And I've told that she looks a bit like a certain part of the male anatomy, which I won't specify, but whatever. Very, very intelligent animals. They make great pets overall, and a lot of people don't realize that, especially in the reptile world. You know, we only see them in freezers most of the time before we feed them to our snakes. And, you know, it is what it is, but they make amazing pets too. She is a huge ball of energy too, man. She is always moving. She can never sit still for more than like a second. Getting pictures of her is a total pain because, well, you can see. Always wants to play, always wants to be moving around, exploring everything. She's such a sweetheart too. Incredibly intelligent, beyond belief intelligent. She will come when she's called. She'll be on the other side of the room and I'll say, Daisy, come here, and she'll come running to me. It's incredible, incredible. They may not be the prettiest, but doesn't mean they're not total sweethearts. Don't judge a book by its cover, guys. Even if the cover is wrinkly and ratty. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments section what animals and topics you want to see in future episodes. And also like us on Facebook at 5WeirdAnimalFacts and follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MillersWildlife. You can also follow me on Snapchat now at MillersWildlife, life spelled with a Y because some jerk already took MillersWildlife. And subscribe to AnimalBytesTV for more awesome animal things and stuff. As always, guys, my name is Jason Miller, and I'll see you next week on 5 Weird Animal Facts.
My name is Brian Barczyk. I've been working with exotic animals for over 25 years. I'm no zoologist, just a guy with a passion for animals. And that passion often takes me on animal adventures around the world.
This is ABTV,